Top picks from Reuters Breakingviews today: how Franco-German politics is the first hurdle for BAE and EADS, and why you shouldn't expect the impossible from OMT and QE3. With me to talk about these three-letter acronyms is Pierre Briançon. Let's start with EADS, BAE. Politics at the national level seems to match the politics at the corporate level, and if history is anything to go by, it doesn't look good.
Well, it has a troubled history in that respect. I mean, the sacrosanct parity of both shareholding and influence of France and Germany in the company makes it more difficult to merge with BAE because, of course, of lingering concerns of politicization, if you want, of the deal in the UK, and maybe we'll see in the US when time comes from the US to approve the deal. And so, I mean, it's the first hurdle, the first obstacle they have to overcome is what do they do with that shareholding structure, that bizarre shareholding structure which demanded that both France and Germany had 22% of the company, and if one was getting lower, the other one had to go lower. This is becoming obsolete a little bit because of the golden share that each government will have, and so we're going to see how they deal with it. You, in your piece, Pierre, you make the point that this is about governance and shareholdings, but you say this deal offers a golden opportunity to clear the air. I think, is it not fair to say, though, that some party is going to have to swallow a little pride and perhaps a little interest? Well, no one understands really. It's very hard to understand exactly why the French, the real sticking point is the French government's reported intention to keep its stake in the company. Currently 15%, would go down to around 9% in the merged entity. Why does France want to keep it? Because they're going to have a golden share that guarantees that they have a say over main strategic
It doesn't offer a complete guarantee, though, does it, a golden share?
It allows them to oppose a certain number of things. Second, it's a defense company, an aerospace company. Governments are going to be the main customers. Governments will have a huge influence. We're not talking making biscuits here. We're talking making airplanes, missiles. So governments will have a huge influence by their state as a customer. So why does France want to keep it? Political. Privatization is still a dirty word in some French left circles, which are currently in government. They could sell it down the road, but won't say it, and that's the whole issue here.
As someone who is delving into this story, how do you think it's going to pan out?
I think ultimately there will be a compromise because no one will want to be held responsible for scuppering the deal, and so they will find some way to alleviate the concerns of both the UK and US government about that politicization, and they will find a way gradually to allow the company to become a more normal company.
Okay. Don't expect the impossible from OMT and QE3 is the other piece from Ian Campbell. Now, I was trying to find the punchline in this piece. We've been saying for a while that unending QE3 and OMTs equals inflation, and this isn't a solution. And this is what this piece is saying.
Well, Ian Campbell is not saying, who wrote the story, is not saying inflation is the clear and immediate danger, but he's taking the view that there has to be an exit strategy, if you want. The common point, the common thread in both those central banks' action is that those are temporary, exceptional circumstances. Inflation is not a current danger, but if you're a central banker, you should think about what's after that. To be fair, neither Ben Bernanke nor Mario Draghi are saying that this is normal, this is central bank policy as usual. They both have a view on how and when they should end it. But in the current downturn, now is probably not the time to worry about inflation. That's the whole point of Ian's piece.
All right, you can read both those pieces, of course, on the Breakingviews site. My thanks to Pierre Briançon. For more agenda setting insight, watch our US Breakingviews show every day, 12:30 Eastern, 17:30 BST. I'm Axel Threlfall. This is Reuters.